Somebody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
Kind of.
Okay, what do you mean, kinda?
I don't want to go to jail again, Your Honor.
Okay, but did somebody threaten you to plead?
Yeah, with jail time, Your Honor.
Okay, but who did that?
Well, technically, you, Your Honor.
Has entered into an agreement with the people, and I'd like to enter that into the record. Your Honor, is it possible to enter into both today, to address both cases today on the record?
That file is not in the courtroom.
Oh, okay, got it.
But I do believe that they'll be that you answer.
Oh, sorry.
But I don't believe it's.
What? Okay.
Talking about bond.
All right, we'll just address this case today.
He's going to enter a plea in another case that's set for prelim.
Yes, yeah. So case 24F55262, just because of the timing with the mental health treatment court evaluation, that one was set for preliminary examination before the evaluation was complete. And that is currently set for exam.
So over there is Anne, right?
Yes.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're diving into a courtroom battle that's anything but ordinary. A father walks into Judge Vonda B's court demanding a child support reduction. But from the moment he opens his mouth, you can feel the tension. He claims life's gotten tougher, his wallet's thinner, and he's just trying to stay afloat. But wait, his calm delivery hides deeper motives, and Judge Vonda sees right through the cracks. This isn't just a numbers game. It's about truth, responsibility, and a looming secret that's about to blow this case wide open.
You know, Anne?
Yes.
Okay. So if you had this, that may work out where we could like get rid of two cases and he could plead. I may or may not do it, but usually just go over and ask Anne. Because you asked me on the record, I'll probably say no, because I don't do the filing, so I don't know where it is.
Understood. Yes. So I will.
So would you like to do that today?
I would like to.
So here's what I'll do. I'll pass it. Go talk to Anne.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, sorry. Ashley Bashir on behalf of Mr. Hampton. And in addition to addressing the case directly, we would like to address bond and request that a condition, specifically the home confinement tether, be reconsidered.
All right, guys, now things start heating up. Judge Vonda isn't playing around. She's dissecting the father's excuses like a pro. When he claims his income has dipped because of unexpected life changes, the judge's eyebrow practically raises itself. The courtroom energy shifts. Fast. This isn't sympathy hour. It's fact-checking time. As she presses harder, the dad stammers, and the truth begins to leak. You can practically hear the audience holding its breath as his story unravels piece by piece.
Okay, I'll get to that maybe at some point.
Good, thank you. Yeah,
Right now, I'm trying to get these pleas done.
thank you.
So my understanding is he's going to plead to count in case ending in 1596. He's going to plead to count 2.
Yes.
Correct? With count 1 being dismissed. That's going to be a guilty plea. Correct, counsel?
Yes.
All right. Then on the other matter, I have a plea form that indicates that the defendant will be pleading guilty to an added count 2 of attempted resisting and obstructing the 1-year offense. Upon a successful plea to that charge, count 1, the resisting and obstructing, would be dismissed. And there is an agreement that the defendant is to go to mental health court. That's the court's full understanding of the agreement.
That's right.
May I have the defendant sworn?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Now, here's where it gets juicy. Judge Vonda shifts focus to the mother, and boy, does she bring the fire. She's not just defending her right to child support, she's dropping bombshells. Turns out she's planning to move to Florida with the kids, and the father had no clue. You can feel the courtroom freeze. His jaw drops, the judge leans forward, and suddenly this isn't just about money. It's about custody, distance, and a massive shift in the kids' lives. The emotional stakes skyrocket right here.
Yeah, state your name.
Brandon Hampton.
Man, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to 2 misdemeanor offenses. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. The first one in the case ending in 1596 is the charge of aggravated assault. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and a $1,000 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You also understand in that case that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Barr in the 14A2 District Court. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And understanding that on that case, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
All right. On the other case, it says court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer.
Hang on tight because now we're entering damage control mode. The father reacts to the Florida move like he's been blindsided by a truck. He tries to play it cool, but the cracks are showing. He says he deserves to know what's happening with his kids, but Judge Vonda quickly turns the question back on him. Where was this concern when he stopped paying full support? His silence speaks louder than words, and it's clear Judge Vonda isn't here for half-hearted parenting.
That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration or $1,000 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand also that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Balvo in the 15th District Court. You understand that?
Why are the judges different, Your Honor?
Why are the judges different? Because these allegedly occurred in two separate places. The case that we're just talking about with Judge Balvo, the offense took place in the city of Ann Arbor. And the other case happened in maybe the city of Ypsilanti in Ypsi City of Ypsilanti. I'm sorry, Ann Arbor Township. Okay. So they occurred in 2 separate jurisdictions.
Okay.
Okay. That's why you have 2 separate judges. But what's going to happen, I think this is probably really the crux of your question. You're going to go to mental health court on these, right?
Yeah.
So Judge Valvo is actually in charge of mental health court. So when that case goes over to her, that will be where it is. You'll have to go before Judge Barr.
All right, buckle up again, because here's where the courtroom dynamics flip. The father finally drops a detail he's been hiding. He's got a side hustle, and guess what? It's been bringing in extra cash. Judge Vonda locks in on that. You can see her eyes sharpen as she breaks down the numbers. He thought this info would go unnoticed, but under her watch, nothing slips. The audience is practically glued to every word as she calls him out, and suddenly his hardship story starts to look a little shaky.
Judge Barr will do the initial part of the sentencing and then place you on probation to be supervised by the mental health court. Follow that? So it's just a little bit of a process. Both cases, it's anticipated, are going to end up in the same spot.
Okay.
Okay. You got that? Any other questions on that?
I guess it's not like possible for the other case just to go to Valvo as well.
It will get there. It just can't go directly that way.
Okay.
Okay.
For sure.
Anything else? Trust me, we do this all the time. It'll get there. So it'll catch right up to it. Okay. All right. Any other questions you have?
Just the one about bond, but
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. All right. So understanding all of that, you still wish to plead guilty to these charges?
yeah.
Okay. So to the charge of aggravated assault, how do you plead?
Guilty.
To the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing, how do you plead?
Guilty.
You understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yeah.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form, correct?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions regarding any of those rights?
No.
All right. You see a copy on the podium. Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
Yeah.
Were you on probation at the time of these offenses?
No.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to these charges?
No.
All right. Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
Kind of.
Okay, what do you mean, kinda?
I don't want to go to jail again, Your Honor.
Okay, but did somebody threaten you to plead?
Yeah, with jail time, Your Honor.
Okay, but who did that?
Okay, guys, here comes the emotional gut punch. The mother takes the floor and breaks down how the father's lack of support has affected the kids. Her voice trembles, but her words cut like steel. You can see Judge Vonda's expression shift. This isn't just about child support anymore. It's about broken promises and real consequences. The father looks stunned, and for the first time, he seems to understand the gravity of what's at stake. It's raw, it's real, and it hits hard.
We're in the middle of taking a plea. And so I stated the terms on the record. And Mr. Hampton, I'm going to ask you a couple questions again.
Okay.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to these charges?
No.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you in any way to get you to plead?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily,
Yes.
of your own free will,
Yes.
and because you believe that you're guilty of these offenses?
Yes.
All right. We'll start with case 1596. Paperwork. So, okay, Mr. Hampton, on the date of August 29, 2024, at Washtenaw Community College in Ann Arbor Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, do you recall what happened on that date regarding a Vladimir, is it Parahorov?
I don't know, Your Honor.
All right. Did you get into a fight with somebody?
Oh, I know what happened. I don't know what his name is. It's not like.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what happened then?
Oh, I was trying to take a shower, Your Honor.
Okay. And then what occurred?
When I was in the locker room, he had pushed me up against the wall, hit me in my head, and threw me on the ground. And then broke in my property.
Okay. But before that, did you do anything before that?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't until there were 4 people on top of me and I was fearing for my life that I bit him.
Things are reaching a boiling point now. Judge Vonda lays down her verdict with calm authority, but every word carries weight. She outlines exactly what the father will owe going forward and why. There's no fluff, no pity, just pure, unfiltered justice. The father's face tells the whole story: shock, regret, maybe even a touch of guilt. You can feel the silence after. Her ruling like a hammer drop. She's not just handing down a decision, she's delivering a reality check in real.
If you guys want to change, I'm not suggesting if you guys want to change things to a no contest. If you want to do whatever, what I will do is I'm back up at 1. I'll call it back up at 1. I think everybody's still going to be here. So, and give you a chance to talk with him, decide whether or not you want to do no contest, please explain what a no contest, go through all of that with him, and then see if we can get this done.
Thank you very, very much, Your Honor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is a prime example for me of no good deed goes unpunished. All right, so we'll call it back up at that point. Quarter past these matters again. All right.
We actually, based on the most recent conversation with my client, I will actually seek to adjourn this case for to further advise my client on the offer.
All right.
For the shortest adjournment possible.
February 13th. Both matters.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Canceling witnesses.
Those matters don't have to come on.
Well, that's true. What are we doing with, well, when is the exam set?
Tuesday, the 28th.
Yes, so would it, apologies. We can see, I'd be happy to file a stip to adjourn that, the exam or for the other case.
Well, you're gonna need a step on the exam.
Yes.
Because I only took it because there was gonna be a plea. When do you want the other one adjourned to?
When is the soonest?
I'll set this, I'll adjourn the
After the
1596. I'll adjourn 1596 to February 6th. The other one is stay on track for a preliminary examination. I understand that people are not going to have the witnesses available, or you need a stipulation to adjourn that out.
And just when you think it's all said and done, Judge Vonda throws in one final message, a powerful reminder that child support isn't a punishment, it's a responsibility. The courtroom clears out, but that echo lingers. This case wasn't just about legal obligations. It was about accountability, transparency, and putting the children first. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next